In this video, I'm going to be philosophizing on meaningful emotions, whether conditions of meaningful emotions that pertain to the unique and universalizable properties. Unique properties of the weather conditions of our meaningful emotions are much more dynamical. They're harder to constitute as extending ubiquitously to other individuals and are more subjective, engaging our subjectivity of direct perception in association with how we perceive our mind and body to be from moment to moment. In the contemporaneity of existing, we can develop more meaningful meaning interpretations in regarding to the universalizability of certain properties that may have once been thought to be unique. And the weather conditions of consciousness are often what cultivates the perspective taking in association with perspectival and imaginal processes of our direct perception, that we can engage the meaningful similarities that are convergent in regards to our converging prior existing meaningful experiences and memories that predict our own perception, action, and or behavior in response to the responses in meaningful communications. Prior existing inputs are internalized from our sensors to the preceptors, direct and indirect, translating meaningful information to the precepts of self as to better communicate not that feeling of another, some feeling instead of the self, to engage meaningful, effective communication efficiently with another, that on quest of such communications, insightful self-conducts and meaningful utterances of thought can be cultivated as we connect our communications with convergent comprehension, where we can develop better, accurate, correct meaning interpretations as approximate and not ever quite the same as another, converging on those meaningful similarities, that we can develop not so much an understanding of the other, but an understanding of the self in relation to the other, inferring better predictions of the self and comprehending the other, not to extend too far and understand the other, but to be able to comprehend the other better and understand ourselves even better, as the understandings that ever exist between two or more individuals, as a must be good enough in necessary conditions, inferences develop from the self, in which we are inferring the other and may assume we understand the other, yet are better at comprehending the other. And before we take that leap, assuming that we have a deeper understanding of the other, we must ask each component part and process of our being in relation to those mind-body connections, that the weather conditions of meaningful emotion shift in regards to its tempo and how I feel in this moment, with certain feeling wheelies that converge with another, in which I know how I feel, yet I don't know quite how another feels, and can best converge on certain meanings from the meaningful communications, but do not have easier access to knowledge of another's subjectivity. Only inferences some develop meaningfulnesses of the vocabulary that we can engage knowledge acquisition of and comprehend the meanings of another's voluntary internalized inputs of communication, voluntarily output into the external surrounds in association with our outputs of prior existing communications that we are able to meaning interpretation butter, allowancing for a deeper understanding of the self, in which we can develop into different categoricals of association the unique properties and the universalizable properties, with butter meaning interpretations of our own unique properties, meaningful properties. Existing properties, universalizable, are much harder to inference. Developing such knowledge requires that comprehension and an understanding of our own limitations, not to be so hasty and to leap as to think or perceive we understand another, yet only have shallow knowledge, holding little meaning to their subjective experience and holding meaningfully more to our own. That's all I want to say for this video. I hope you have an awesome one. Keep developing those acepçãodades.